I'm Howard Bragman, and thanks for joining us today on Gwissues. We have a very special guest today. His name is E.J. Johnson. E.J., thanks for joining us all the way from New York today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're sort of the man of the hour. You were, I guess technically you were outed on TMZ recently. Is that a fair assessment?
That is a fair assessment, I guess.
You are obviously the son of the legendary basketball star Earvin Magic Johnson and your mother Cookie Johnson. How'd this all feel, and how was the initial response?
For me, it was really, I guess, surprising because I didn't think that it was going to be that big of a deal since I had been out to my family and friends for at least 5 years now. So I think that, it was almost as if I was coming out of the closet again. So like reliving the experience has been, both exciting and interesting rather because, I've been through it before, but just to have the media and everybody involved has been a completely different experience. But I'm reveling in it, and I'm making it work to my advantage. So I'm enjoying the experience.
How does it feel to, you went from being a relatively private citizen, a student at NYU, and then one day later you're, the most famous gay guy in America. What's that feel like? Do you feel a little violated at all, or are you okay with it?
No, I don't feel violated at all. I just, I always wanted to come into the spotlight. I had always had dreams and plans of, doing my own thing and, creating my own image. So it came a little sooner than I thought that it would, but I still, this is still something that I always knew that I would be going through and something that I would always have to experience.
How did it happen exactly? What was going on that it suddenly became...
I guess I was just hanging out on the Sunset Strip with my best friend, who's not my boyfriend actually, but he's my best friend. And we were just, walking. I guess we like to hold hands sometimes. And TMZ just came up to me and started asking me questions. And at first I thought, they kind of know who I am, but not really. This is something that like I've never really done before. So like I'll obviously be nice and polite and answer their questions. And then my mom told me that TMZ had contacted my parents and told them they're going to air it. And still I was kind of like, okay, that's fine, you can air it, but like, I don't think that it's going to be that serious. And then they aired it, and then I got all this attention, and everyone was tuning in and watching and, celebrating and loving it. And, some people who didn't love it.
Tell me about people who didn't love it. How did you hear from these people?
Well, I haven't been contacted personally, but obviously you can see some of the comments on TMZ or, the various other websites where people can comment and, they say nasty things about me and, what I'm doing and being me. But, really,
how dare you be yourself? Is that what they say?
I mean, yeah, it's almost like they're attacking me for being me, and so to that I can only say, well, I can only be myself. So I don't know really what you want me to do.
For 20 years old, you seem very comfortable in your skin, and I attribute that to a loving family and a lot of support at home. That you're very comfortable with yourself and who you are.
I would definitely agree with you and say that I am very, very, very blessed to have the family that I do. My parents have also always been super supportive, and my sister and I have always been really close, and she's been really supportive, and as with my brother. So when it was time to come out, like I was obviously scared, as most people are, but I wasn't. And after I got all the love and support from my family, then I knew that I could go out and conquer the world, I guess.
When did you come out to your parents initially?
I think it was around when I was 13 or 14, I think. I, talked to my mom approached me first, and then I told her, and then after that...
Did she say something to you? Did she ask you first?
Well, she kind of just asked me, what I was thinking at the time, I guess, not really asking me, but like, asking me about like some preferences or some things that I like to do and stuff like that that kind of led up to it. And I told her how I was feeling, and then she, obviously told me that, she had known and, and always would obviously love me anyway. And then same thing happened with my dad like a year or so later. So, yeah, it was a pretty, I mean, everyone has to get used to it, I think. Like, no, parent is prepared 100% and fully for something like that. So, we all had to work and move forward.
I want to talk a little about you. You're 20 years old. You're a junior at NYU. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And tell me what you're studying and what your dreams are when you get done with college.
Currently I'm studying event management and design. So like I'm studying event planning and stuff and in the hospitality program at NYU. But I have a strong interest in fashion and and journalism and media journalism and stuff like that. So hopefully in the future, I really hope to get involved with the media and become my own personality. I would love to have a talk show someday and just for younger viewers and really just be the voice, another voice for the generation, as well as a voice for uh, young gay people who need someone to be on TV or wherever else to talk to them and talk about all kinds of issues that all of us face, and not just homosexual issues, but all kinds of issues, just for young people in general.
Who are your role models in the gay community when you look at the people that really inspired you and gave you courage and said, I can be out like them? Who did you look to?
Well, obviously, I look to Ellen DeGeneres. I love Ellen, and I think that she was really strong, for coming out and having her show, regardless of what all the people told her that, she wouldn't be able to make it and no one would watch her because she's a lesbian. And I think that that was a beautiful thing that she just went forward and did what she wanted to do. And like, look at her now. Like, her show is huge. Everyone watches it. Everyone loves it. Everyone loves her. And you know what? Also, I love Anderson Cooper. He's everything. He's amazing. Um, I love his show as well. And even though he recently came out of the closet, he still built his foundation and is still doing what he's doing, and nothing has really changed or hurt him in that way. He's still Anderson. He's still doing it all.
And
I also
go ahead.
I also love RuPaul. RuPaul is amazing as well. I think that he's especially becoming a pioneer in the reality show division and really exposing America to something that I never thought that America would have accepted, at least not in my lifetime. So I think that that's a beautiful thing as well, and I really appreciate his efforts.
How does it feel for you that all of a sudden you're a role model? Do you understand the new responsibility, the new transparency and visibility that goes along with it?
A lot of people have been telling me, through whether it's on my Instagram or on Twitter, that they're really proud of me and they look up to me, and so definitely I definitely want to make an impact now that I'm being watched and people are looking up to me and following me and looking at me, and I definitely want to set a really good example. So I'm really excited to move forward and set some examples and really get involved in the community and make changes, and I'm know that you will help me do that.
Well, I'm personally going to help you, and I actually think there's a whole community ready to embrace you. And I think, once you start stepping out a little in the community, you're going to find that there's a lot of love. I'm extraordinarily proud of you, as is this community. You're a courageous young man. You're going to have a huge future ahead of you. And thanks for joining us today, E.J. Johnson. We will hear much more from you going forward.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay.